Hello, I recently received a question on how we took care of our baby snails, so I'll try my best to explain it. What I have here are 2-day old hatchlings. They were born 6 days after the mother had laid the eggs. What we did was to isolate these little guys into their own separate box. We took a small plastic container, filled it with moist loam soil, and as you can see here, we've placed a piece of leaf lettuce for them to nibble on. As we move along, we've got a second box with a whole bunch of other new hatchlings. These are about uh, 3 days old. It was just a day apart from the first group that we saw earlier. So one good indicator, at least that I've observed, is that if you see the snails sticking to the sides or the top of the cover that you've placed on the lid, then that's a good thing. One thing that you should start worrying about is if you don't see those snails latching onto those surfaces. Here we've got a piece of romaine lettuce, and I'm just going to spritz a little water on it, which would serve as their water source. They don't need a lot. They can get all the water that they need from that one spritz, and that should be okay. Put the lid back on. Make sure your lid is well perforated to provide that decent amount of airflow. Now, moving on to this box, these are our very first batch of snail hatchlings. These are about 3 months old now. They've grown significantly in size, and we're very happy with it. They're just about to have their dinner. We've got that romaine lettuce, which they absolutely love, and we got a tomato there just to spice things up. The white substance that you see there is limestone, which serves as their calcium source. We've just sprayed some water on it to make it a little bit more palatable for them. This little guy is getting along pretty nicely. He's developing as expected, and we're really excited to see what he's going to look like in 6 months' time. Snail mortality at this very early stage in life is expected. We've lost several batches of snail hatchlings. Causes are unknown. So what we've done is to improve how we house the snails. We regularly check the size of the juvenile snails that are growing, and we separate the larger ones from the smaller ones, because if you kind of get them crowded into a pen together, you will see some of these guys some occurrences of stunting in some of the snails. So that's one thing that we want to avoid. I'll be putting together a more detailed video on how to take care of these snails at this stage in their lives. For now, okay, this is just a quick look at our adult polished muffin snails. They're feeding on our very own formulated snail feed, and it looks like they're doing good. So that's all I've got for today. See you in the